Hello, hello, and welcome back. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and we are officially on day number 2 of the Setup for Sales challenge that I want to share with you. So, really quickly, just to quickly recap, our agenda is really about working on your monthly minis. These are irresistible offers, digital products that you can create and offer to your audience as part of a paid membership or simple subscription. Our goal is to work on your monthly recurring revenue, building your list, and working towards your everyday sales goals. So, as part of this challenge, what I wanted to do was walk you through these monthly minis that I have identified as proven, tried and true, possible projects that can work for you, okay? I call these profit projects, right? Now, I don't know if you know this, but there are actually 17 types of monthly minis that I have identified and created in some way, shape, or form over the many, many years that I have been working online as a creator, creating digital products, subscription offers, all the things. Now, as part of this 7-day challenge, what I wanted to do was walk you through 7 of these minis, number 1, so that you can, over the course of 7 days, identify one of these that can work for you. And then number 2, go through the 7-day digital product challenge that I have created, which is taking 7 days to really intentionally work on a digital product, specifically using some of the ideas that I've shared with you here, right? This process is a part of my Fresh Start program where I break down taking 7 days to start off by planning and prepping your digital product. Then on day 2, prepping and actually starting the production process. On day 3 and 4, continuing to produce and publish your product. On day 5, on day 5, work on the publishing process in 2 ways, both publishing your PDFs and your pages so that you can start to proactively promote and work on your profit potential over those last few days, right? So it's up to you whether you immediately have chosen one of these monthly mini offers and you are just kind of going to take the next 7 days to dig into content creation, especially those of you who are officially in the Fresh Start program and have access to all the templates, because each of these minis, I've created templates to help you quickly create your quality content. Or you're just excited to be here so that I can share with you the different types of monthly minis that you can put together. Hey, Donia. Hey, Andrea. So as you know, yesterday we kicked off our challenge, and I gave you an overview of the 7 mini messages, media, magazines, mentorship, master classes, mini challenges, and mini series. And then we took that session to focus specifically on number 1, which was mini messages. Today, what I want to do is actually talk to you about mini magazines. I absolutely love this project. I always love to say that as a content creator, influencer, coach, if Oprah can put herself on the cover of her magazine, so can you. Especially when it comes to working on creating your own polished brand. So hopefully you're clear on a couple of things. First thing being, the 7-day challenge is absolutely free to hang out with me for these 7 days so I can kind of get you up to speed as far as how to intentionally focus on either your first or your next best offer, especially when it comes to creating these signature Sister Sense monthly minis that I want to share with you, right? Because again, this series is all about working on your recurring revenue, either starting a subscription offer or beefing up an offer that you already have, right? So those of you who are here, definitely feel free to share if you do have some sort of subscription-based offer or you're working on one, okay? And then, of course, outside of the 7-day series, I have even more trainings and templates for each of these minis. So it's up to you whether you choose to upgrade to the complete Fresh Start program so that you can get anywhere between 3 to 21 templates that take this project, take the process to the next level so you can implement and start to utilize the templates I've created to help you move forward. Yesterday, we looked at one of the mini message templates. There are 3 for those of you who sign up for the full Fresh Start program. Today, what we're going to do is create what I call the 90-minute mag, right? We're going to do it in less than 90 minutes because I'm not going to create the whole thing with you. I'm just going to walk you through the template, those of you who are in Fresh Start, and those of you who are not, give you some ideas of how you can work on brand magazines and incorporating that offer into what it is that you're trying to offer to your audience, okay? So just kind of wanted to get you up to speed, especially those of you who perhaps are jumping in into day 2 when you haven't necessarily taken a look at the full Setup for Sales challenge and or what the Fresh Start program is all about, okay? So now that we've got the housekeeping out of the way, quick power pause. Okay, so now that we've got the housekeeping out of the way, and I've mentioned to you just a quick overview of the monthly minis, as well as the 7-day digital product production process, let's focus on our topic for today, which is the mini magazine project, okay? So, a couple of things. First thing to think about is if you do want to work on a brand magazine, especially those of you who haven't done it before, this is one of my favorite PYP, Print Your Profit projects. I've been publishing my own magazine and helping clients do the same for years now, right? First thing is to identify what type of magazine you would want to produce, okay? Now, first let me go through the list and then I'll say something else. First, the list. Lifestyle. Maybe you want to create a lifestyle magazine or local, something that is specific to your area. So, for example, here, there are lots of magazines that are local to North Carolina, but then to the, city that you're in, right? Washington, Durham, Raleigh, Greenville, that are just kind of very, very, very location specific. Then you can think about special interests based on age or gender, right? Women's issues, men's issues, children. It could be education, career, business, health and wellness, food, hobbies, travel, relationships, entertainment, somewhere in there, okay? The core desires, as I know them and often share, is that most people are looking for help in one of the 3 main areas. They're looking for help when it comes to their health, their wealth, and or their relationships, right? So if you can pull from one of those core desires and get clear about the kind of magazine you would like to create for your audience, that's definitely a great place to start, okay? Now, when I talk about this, I always love to mention the fact that I've created different types of magazines, both for myself and for my clients, right? I've helped clients create magazines around finances, around travel, around health and wellness, all the things, like a range, right? Me personally, my 2 main magazines that I've published over the years, Sister Sense and Print, which is digital business for women entrepreneurs, and then Little Bits Kids, Bright Colors, which is for children of color, right? I love to mention that because creating a brand magazine is, number one, something that you could do to create a print and or digital offer and add more value to your current audience, or if you're multi-passionate like me, right? When I'm not talking all about all things business, entrepreneurship, women in business, things like that, I love to focus on my kiddos, right? I love to focus on bright colors and all the lovely things there. Short story, I just loved when I was a kid. My mother had me in this magazine subscription for kids called We Wisdom. It was actually a church And as a kid, there was nothing like getting my own mail and getting this little magazine in the mail. I actually went on eBay a couple of years ago and found some old wee wisdoms because they no longer are in print. And I just, as a kid, didn't have the wherewithal to save my old issues. But I just loved being able to have that and create something like that for kids that I experienced when I was a kid, which is why I created Bright Colors. So thinking about whether or not you want to create something for your core audience or just go in a different passion so that you are, tapping all your interests and you're not getting bored, which is something that some of us can get sometimes, right? That's something that you could do. Now, keep in mind, if this is not the project for you, baby, it's okay. Because there, again, are 17 monthly minis, and our focus within this challenge is the first 7. Okay, so we got options. Yesterday we talked about monthly messages. Today it's about the mini mag experience. So thinking about your genre number 1, those of you who are curious about working on a magazine or conversation is piquing your interest, feel free to drop into the chat and let me know which genre you would like to focus on. Okay, number 1. Number 2 is structure. So, as you know, magazines range in size, right? You can have like a local magazine that's maybe like somewhere between 30 to 60 pages, and then you can have like a Vogue or something that's like 100 pages. Right? Vogues are like little mini encyclopedias. They're like huge, right? Depending upon your genre and who you are, what you do, the amount of team, the people you have working with you, your magazine can be big or small. When I talk about monthly minis, right, the idea is that as a solopreneur, especially, right, those of you with no team like myself or a small team, you can manage adding this on without feeling like you're going to burn yourself out, especially if it's a subscription-based offer and you're doing this on a month-by-month basis. So on the mini side, I'm talking about things that are anywhere between 8 to 12 pages long, mini, or 16 to 24 on a month-by-month basis. Now, when I created my magazine, Sister Sense, in print, baby, it was all me. Meaning that I created what I called a brand mag that was a blog to mag. I had, at that point, written tons of content on my WordPress website, on my blog, and I repurposed that content in print so I had something both digital and physical to offer to my audience, and I was able to make the most of the content that I had already created. So some of you may be like myself, and you can repurpose your written content in this creative way, right? So again, 8 to 12 as far as being like super mini, and then 16 to 24, okay? Now, when I talk about you creating a recurring subscription offer, you could think about any magazine where they sell the magazines one-off, like people can buy the individual issues, or they can sign up and pay for a subscription, and that magazine is the main thing that they offer, right? Now, you could also consider that that magazine is a part of a larger offer that you've created. So I said to you, as part of this experience, the goal is really to focus on one main offer, especially if you're going to go through setting it up over the course of the 7-day period. But if you did want to, over time, those of you who plan on working with me in Fresh Start for 90 days, aka 12 weeks, you could work on building a bundle, right, and adding other things to your subscription. So when it comes to the mini, you may go, man, 8 to 12 pages, like who would buy that? Well, for me, I think about 2 things, and I'm going to show you that once we get into the template. Number 1, when it's interactive and it's more than just 12 pages, right? When there's more meat to it. Like if I'm giving you a mini mag and I'm like, okay, well, click here and get unlocked access to a mini course, or click here and participate in this, I don't know, download this workbook or something, like this. It's not just the 8 to 12 pages on the surface. There's some other deeper engaging things inside of it. that kind of expand it, enhance it, and make the experience even better, number one. Or number two, as I mentioned to you, either those smaller versions have some really solid, engaging pieces, and or it's a part of a bigger experience, right? So, for example, one of my monthly programs is my Sister Sense Circle, right? And working with you all has sparked an interest in me to go from publishing my magazine quarterly to perhaps month. I'm thinking going back to monthly, because when I started I was doing monthly, and then I kind of transitioned into annual, quarterly issues, right? Going back to monthly and offering that inside of my mastermind, which has monthly mastermind sessions and challenges and quarterly workshops and conferences. So I do have a bundled package, but then adding that on could enhance the experience, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's again, I say that because the first thing here when it comes to structure is the amount of pages. And people tend to sometimes think that when you go small, the value is minimal, right? And it's all about perspective. Number one, a lot of times we like things that are smaller because they're easier to consume. Like, think about sometimes we don't sign up to things because we go, oh my God, this is huge. I'm never going to get through this. Forget it, right? Being able to have things that are easy to create and easy to consume, that's the monthly mini magic, right? So it's not going to be overly taxing for you, and it's going to be a good read and easy read for your audience too, right? So that's one thing to consider. And then if you at some point either want to integrate it into a subscription offer you already have, or over time take these monthly minis, build them up transformer style into a bigger package offer that adds more value, that's something that you can do, okay? So definitely food for thought, and as we get into the monthly mini template, you're going to see if that might be a good fit for you, okay? Hey, y'all. I see y'all coming in here. Hey, Fi. I was about to say Fi. Hey, Faye. I see you jumped into the building. Definitely feel free to jump into the chat and let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world today. Hi, Inger. Welcome, welcome. And of course, if you are curious about publishing your own mini mag, let me know your thoughts thus far. Now, if you're not watching me live and you're catching it on the replay side, no worries, I got you. You can always check in with me by emailing sistersense@gmail.com, or when you're on the sistersense.com website, just click that gray tab on the right to send me a voice message, okay? So, structure. First thing is always pages, like how many pages you're thinking of. And regardless of page count, I always love to talk about the core four, right? The mini mag, the small one, like 8 pages, it's a little bit different, but the core four is front cover, back cover, letter from the editor. I know this is like, what's this acronym, LaShonda? Letter from the editor, and TOC, your table of contents, okay? So those are some of the, well, those to me are like the main pages as far as what is always common as far as the structure, and then the insides are the ones that you can kind of play around with as far as structure, what you want. When you see the templates that I have put together, or rather templates, because there are quite a few of them, they have a combination of 1-page articles and 2-page articles, and then full pagers where you can have ads, challenges, or other creative full-page content that you want to showcase. Then there are pages where you can spotlight people, podcasts, products, and other things, right? Special pages that are based on topics, contributors. Maybe you have someone who is going to be a guest writer for you in every issue, so you know, okay, page 16, that's going to be Renee's page. Every issue, she's got an article coming for me, right? Themes. These are some things that you can think about when you're figuring out what you want to put into your pages. And then, of course, media, right? If you want to include link URLs, QR codes, things that they can download, pages that they can go to make it engaging and interactive, these are some things that you can do. So check in with me. Let me know who's here real quick. Number one, Power pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's keep on keeping on. So I see the chat. I'm going to check real quick. Hey, Dee, very interested in producing a magazine now that it's not going to be another major project. Listening intently from the UK. I love it. I love it. My UK entrepreneurs in the building. And that's the key thing, right? I feel like I have to screenshot your comment because you said, now that I know it's not going to be like another major thing. The big key here when it comes to the keyword mini is that I want you to be able to work on your subscription offers, your recurring revenue, without overextending you, right? Because as a solopreneur, there's so many hours in the day, right? You know, I love the quote, and many have talked about this when they go, oh, you know, well, Beyonce has 24 hours in a day. No, she don't, baby. Beyonce got her plus a million gazillion other people on her team, and each of those people got 24, and you multiply that, and you see how many hours she really has. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people are like, you know, if those people can do it and be overly da-da-da-da, so can you, not taking into account how many people those people have behind them, right? I'm behind you, right, and I'm supporting you by creating formulas. I call it the FAST method. Fast, when it comes to content creation, creating formulas, automation systems, and tools that I use that you can mirror that are going to help you ease the process of putting these things together, right? So now that we've talked about, and let me just check real quick. Okay. Now that we've talked about possible genres, number one, and then structure, number two, let's move into actually looking at templates that I've put together, okay? Now, those of you who are here, several things to keep in mind. I love to use Canva, and if you're Canva creative and kind of want to build from scratch on your own, you definitely can do, right? But I always like to say with the FAST, you're going to save what? You're going to save time, right? FAST, the TB, and templates, I've already put several of these together, right? So those of you who sign up for the full Fresh Start program over at SusanSense.com/Fresh Start, there's two versions. The light version, that's going to give you 3 projects, 3 templates. And then the full version, that's going to give you 7 projects and 21 templates. Why? Because I am me, I am extra, so there are 3 template variations for each of the 7 projects, okay? So let's jump over to the template so I can show you what it looks like in the full version, the mini version, and then we can brainstorm what you would put together using what I call the 90-minute mag, okay? So let's go over to the templates. So here I am. Wait one sec. Okay, so here I am on the monthly minis page. Those who have access to the full Fresh Start program, you're going to be able to come here and then see pretty much all your monthly minis, okay? You'll be able to see all 21 and then click on them. I've launched the first half of those of you who started Sunday, and then the second half is going to be by midweek, so you can have all 21, okay? But audios was yesterday. Today is magazines. There is the original magazine template. Let's take a look at the smallest template, which is the 8-pager. And this one in particular, if you just do the light version of Fresh Start, this is the one that you'll get. So I'm going to go over to Edit Template so I can show you what that looks like. So this is an 8-page template. Let's go in grid mode. And with this template, several things are happening. First thing is, one of my biggest challenges with creating this template was the cover. And as you know, a lot of times you may see a full cover image. And if you want to use a stock photo on the cover of your magazine, that's great. But guess what? For solopreneurs like myself who also want to put themselves on the cover, if you are not photo shoot happy, right, and you don't have tons of high quality, huge images of yourself, your team, whatever, you may find it a challenge to create a quality-looking front cover. And so when I designed this cover in particular, I wanted something bright, I wanted something clean, but then you notice that as opposed to needing a full image for the whole cover, you can do something a little bit smaller. Having either a photo here and or multiple photos here, it's up to you, because you could delete the little mini circles. It's kind of up to you. Now, there are several versions of this cover, and the bigger template, which I'll show you in a second, has more. Now, the editor page. So again, this would be an 8-pager, and you could add on duplicate pages if you wanted to make it bigger. Those of you who have Fresh Start Lite have this template. Those of you just hanging out with me in the challenge, you get to see the different options. You get to build from scratch if that's what you want to do, and or invest into the Fresh Start program, because I've got these templates ready for you, okay? So you can write a letter from the editor, which is roughly 3 paragraphs, about 150 words, and have that here, and then highlight a few of the special articles that you've created in this issue. One of the reasons I call this the 90-minute mag, and this is the small version of the 90-minute mag, is because I've put formulas together to help you get clear about your pages. So this is a 1-page article, number 1. And then this is a clean full page. So either you can use it as it was intended, or you can switch it up. So here's a good page to either put a full page, or you can put a little reminder in here. If you do an issue a week, could be a weekly reminder. Issue a month, could be a monthly reminder. And if you did want to make it interactive, you could add links that they click, and then maybe they go watch a video, maybe they listen to an audio. It's about how creative you get when it comes to what it is that you want to share, okay? Now, here is another article. This article is 2 pages. And by the way, these are actual articles that I crafted. You can read them. They're interesting enough. I crafted for the mock-up, right? So here's a 2-pager. Now, keep in mind, as a solopreneur, brand creator, you could be the one who is writing the content, repurposing content from things you've already had, or getting guest contributors to include content in here for you. Page number 7 is a challenge page. Now, again, it's another full pager. If you wanted to add your own creative full page here, you could. Or a number 2 option I have for you is to use it as it is intended, meaning that I've made this as a micro challenge page. You can, number 1, let's move up, right? So it says, here, success challenge. Take 30 minutes today to create a prioritized to-do list. Identify your top 3 tasks, break them into action steps, and start with the most important. This small step sets the tone for a productive week. One of the things I love to talk about is staying positive and productive. So it's just a really simple challenge section. You could do that. In every issue, you can give people a micro challenge. Now, this is a QR code. Feel free to scan it, right? Or if you have the template, either way, right? This QR code literally will take people to a page, sistasense.com/success. And on that page, it's an audio check-in page. We talked about those yesterday when you create monthly messages. And I'm talking about how to be productive, how to be successful. Remember, I said to you, even if you create a magazine on the smaller side, 8 pages, 12 pages, 24 and under, if you make some of those pages engaging, if you take them to rich media content, right, and then it's more than just those pages. It's in what's in the pages or where the pages take them, that's adding more value, right? So let's take a second to go back over here real quick. Go to sistasense.com/success. Remember, I said to you, there are many ways in which you could create audio monthly messages, right? So we did monthly messages yesterday. One way is to create what I like to call check-in pages, where I built this on WordPress, but I also built one in Canva for you all who have 3 templates for the monthly messages, right? And there's an audio at the bottom, there's a video here, and I'm talking to people about, okay, here are some practical things that you can do to challenge yourself to be more productive, okay? So again, if you did want to enhance, It's a simple full pager. Do you have to write a lot? No, right? The bulk of the page, you don't need the QR code, by the way. You could delete it. You could just simply have a beautiful full page, a full stock photo in the back, and then a few lines of a micro challenge in the front. Do you need to do that? Absolutely not. It's possible that you have your own full page ads of things that you want to showcase. There you go. You can use it however you choose to, or again, use it as it was intended, okay? So this is the 8-pager, which gives you the opportunity in each issue to have full pages. You can do a reminder, a challenge, a 2-page article, and a 1-page article. Share one of these minis once a week, once a month, add it onto other things that you're doing. Bam, bam, boom. You've created some amazing for your audience. Option number 2, because there is the original magazine template, and you get access to that as well. That's Mag Temp number 1 if you have the full Fresh Start experience. Let's take a look at Mag Template number 3. Now, this is the bigger version of what you just saw, and this version is 24 pages. Now, my goal is that by the end of the year, I beef this bad boy up to at least 40 pages, fingers crossed, okay? Because there are a ton of things that I want to do to really make the 90-minute mag formula give you more options, okay? Right now, hold on, let's see. Did I click the right one? Mini mag. Oh, I clicked the mini one. I need to click this one. Edit. Yes. Number 2 is the regular size. Number 3 is the mini. Okay. Let's keep that in track. So eventually, this one is 24 pages right now. My goal is to get it to 44 by the end of the year. So those of you who do have this one, you may see it get even bigger in the next couple of weeks. But let's talk about what is here. Number 1, there are different style covers. So you'll see this one here. But then you'll also, if we go to the end here, you'll also see a few other style variations, because I wanted to create something where if you wanted to, it's beautiful, thank you. If you wanted to have smaller stock photos, especially those of you who, or smaller images because your images aren't the biggest, and usually when it comes to printing, you don't have to do print, you could just do digital, but usually if you didn't want to print, you need bigger, larger images that have higher quality, right? These are on the smaller side for these pages at least. But then you can do this one or this one. You could use stock photos, because a lot of companies do, or if you did want to use your personal photos, you could use those too, okay? So let's talk about the formula of it all, because there are formulas that I've put in place here. Number 1, the letter from the editor page is slightly different in that, in addition to have your article for this issue here, you could highlight a mock-up of a print or digital product here, right? As you saw the other one, there was a little section for what's inside this issue, because it's relatively a small issue. So you don't need a full table of contents page, because what are you going to put on it for like an 8-page magazine, right? Just having a section to highlight some things in the issue, I think, is sufficient. The reason why I didn't keep that in this design is because it has its own page. I love this page for many reasons. Number 1, you still have that section where you can highlight what's in the issue. You can also highlight something that you featured on the cover, right? And then you can do a couple of other things. Number 1 is the spotlight. When I was really big building my network, Black Businesswomen Online, which you can find online at mybbw.com, and I got it to close to 10,000 members, one of the things that I was doing every year for about 5 years was called the BBWO 50, and I was featuring 50 women entrepreneurs in that community, right? Over time, you're going to change that over time, you're going to find that you may change what your focus is. So I kind of slowed down on the magazine issues, as well as opposed to doing monthly, I started doing quarterly, number one. And then number two, slowed down on the BBWO 50 because I was kind of going in different directions. However, this is a great way to spotlight people, either noteworthy people in your industry or noteworthy people in your community. When people started to put my business logo, SisterSense, in their media kits and on their website saying, as seen by LaShonda at SisterSense.com, a part of it is the features, right? And that BBWO 50 was a huge part of that. So in every issue, you could highlight several people. You don't have to do 6 if you wanted to remove some of these, or maybe highlight one person and have one big issue, one big image. That's certainly something that you could do. Or you could get creative and put something else in this section if you feel so inclined to. You could share an inspirational message, but you'll see that it's relatively short. It's not huge. And that's a part of the fact that why I call this the 90-minute mag. It's plug and publish short pieces versus feeling like you need a huge magazine with lots of large pieces of content, okay? So this is replacing what I used to use, which is a traditional table of contents. If you actually take a look at the original magazine template, which is this one, okay? Beautiful. One of my this is like the small version of there's an even bigger version of this, right? If you look at this version here, you'll see my old school magazine. This is what my table of contents looks like. So you definitely, those of you who have the Fresh Start Full program, you could go back to this magazine template style number 1, or you can have fun with the new template style number 2, whichever works for you, right? Whichever floats your boat. But let's go to I have to think about it. Like, which one was I at? Let's come back to this one, okay? So we're talking about structure. You can have 2-page articles like this one, or you can have 1-page articles like that one. Here is a really easy 2-pager, okay? So I've created some 2-pagers that are like follow, like you remember, paint by numbers, right? Or, when you do those dot numbers and you follow the numbers and you create art that, the little kids used to use all the time. This is kind of like that for me. In that, this is a give them 5 article, okay? Here it says give them 5 positive podcasts. 2 paragraphs here, 2 paragraphs here, and then you highlight 5 podcasts. You don't have to do this for podcasts. You can, in your issue, highlight 5 products. You could highlight 5 places. You could highlight 5 programs, right? I mean, I'm doing your P's because I'm all about the P's, please. But, anything that you want, you can highlight 5 books, right? So it doesn't require a lot of writing. You could switch it up in every issue, or you could do, let's say that your magazine is for people who love to read books. Every issue, you could highlight 5 different books in every issue, right? And then maybe, you do romance, and then another one, you do biographies, nonfiction, and switch it up every issue, right? So this is one style section. Let's go to another one. We already talked about this page. This is another simple 1-page article. Here's one that I love. It's called Her Take. Now, this one is, I don't know if you've ever seen this in a magazine or, hold on one second. Quick power pause. Okay, friend wanted to overtake the conversation, so I had to pause for a second. I'm sure you've seen TVs, shows, not necessarily shows, but talk shows or news segments or magazine or newspaper issues where they'll go around town, they'll ask for people's input, and then they'll put it in, right? Her take is an example of that. So, how to bounce back from setbacks. If you look here, there are 3 responses, and each of these are from specific people. I've done this many times, where as opposed to writing a whole article myself, I may ask several people to respond to a topic and then share their feedback on that response. This is what I call a write without writing method. You're coming up with the concept, right? But you're reaching out to people, you're getting their photos, and those of you who want more exposure, one of the things I talk about is that media creates media. So who wouldn't love to be featured in your magazine and sharing their expertise on ... So for example, if you Google me, LaShonda Henry, and the New York Times, you'll find that back in my mommy blogger days when my son was younger, and I talked a lot about the Black Parenting blog and Mahogany Mama, several brands that I had in my, again, I think when he was younger, I had more interest in writing about writing about parenting and childhood or whatever. But I was featured in several issues of the New York Times, and those were sharing my parenting advice, and those articles were just like this, where it was advice like from several people, kind of like a panel, right? Or as they call it in the biz, like around town, getting expert feedback from different people, different opinions, okay? So this is another one that's really solid, especially if you want to create structure and have something that you can highlight in every issue. This one's called 21 Ways. Whatever you want to put here, you can. 21 ways to achieve your dreams. 21 ways to I don't know, to make $5,000 a month, whatever, whatever the case may be, right? Share a different 21 ways every issue, and all you really need here are like 3 paragraphs, roughly 150 words, and then you can focus on the list here. It doesn't have to be a huge list or an overly complicated list, right? So these are the types of special interest sections that I've put in here. Another really awesome one is routines. People love routines. So here's the get up and glow, how to stay positive, productive, or both. And here's what you do from Monday to Sunday, right? You can have, now keep in mind, does this mean you have to switch it up every single issue? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You may have something like this, and every issue has your weekly or your monthly whatever routine that you want to share with your audience, and it's a staple and it's a signature and it's a part of every single issue, especially those of you who want to err on the larger side of maybe doing issues that are 20 to 36 pages a month, right? Some people love to write and have the time and the bandwidth to do so, and or not just that, some people, this is going to be your main thing, like creating a subscription-based magazine will be your main offer versus other people where you may be adding it on to other things, right? So that is another consideration. I love to create pages like that simulate other things. Like this kind of looks like you listening to a podcast, and you can either literally, if it's digital, link the image, link the play button, take them to the audio, or if you want to print it as well, you can add a QR code to that audio that you want them to listen to, right? So you'll see here, this is what the 24-pager looks like right now. And then if you wanted to duplicate pages, you can customize them. Of course, you can. And like I said, my goal is I really want to add some more sections here that are not in this formula just yet. And I will be releasing those because I can take like 3 hours on like one section of one of these pages. I've been working really hard to make it drag and drop, clean and publish. And then there are those of you who have access to Publish Plus of Fresh Start, which includes me actually putting things together for you. So some of my ladies, I love them. They're like, I'm going to be honest with you, LaShonda, I am just not creatively inclined. Like, I could do it good, but you could do it better. For some of my clients, I'm helping them build websites in Canva and also work on their first 1 to 3 issues so that they basically give me, and I do this sometimes as well, they give me the text, they tell me what they want, and then I do the design. I work on putting the pieces together. So if you did want to upgrade to Publish or Publish Plus, not only have access to the templates, but then have me helping you with the designs, that's also an option for you too. Okay? So, as I mentioned to you, I wanted you to be able to see that with a handful of articles and with creativity, you can create value that you offer to your audience on a month-by-month basis, highlighting, again, people, highlighting products, creating special topics, pages, themes, and then offering that to your audience consistently. So if you are just hanging out with me for the 7 days, I'm going to share with you 7 ways to work on making the most of either your current subscription offers or coming up with something new, right? That's number 1. So if you're not in the Fresh Start, the free 7-day challenge, just go to sistasense.com/setup for sales, and you could just join the challenge if you're not already in it, right? But if you do want to get access to more trainings, more templates, learn more about all 17 monthly minis, get access to anywhere between 3 to 21 templates, that's what is inside of the full Fresh Start program at sistasense.com/fresh start. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is a couple of things. Before the hour is over, I'm literally going to take the mini version of this template and then start to drag and drop and customize it in about 5 minutes, okay? Number 1. Number 2, because I kind of want to show you how to do some Canva things, those of you who are beginners to Canva, right? And then number 2, I want to show you some of the other templates that are inside of here, and of course, answer any questions or comments that you may have, okay? So if you have any questions or comments for me, definitely drop them into the chat. That's number 1. Number 2, those of you who are inside of the SistaSense program, which gives you access to the things that I do on a month-by-month basis, hopefully you know that you have the Fresh Start Lite. You have 3 projects and 3 templates. I already sent that off to you, so if you do want to just do the 3 projects in the Lite version, you can, but if you want to upgrade to more projects, you have that option because there are different people here from different spaces and experiences as part of my SistaSense community, okay? So let me check the chat real quick, show you how to customize this, and then wrap up today's session. Hey, Andrea. So that's a great question. Is the Lite version mag number 1? Actually, no. The Lite version, if you have Fresh Start Lite, the magazine issue that you should have is the mini version of this new one, okay? So you'll have the 8-pager if you have Lite, and that's going to give you this one, okay? That's the 8-pager. Edits. Let me use it. Now, if you have the full version, you have the original Mag 1. You have the full new one, which is 24 pages. But if you did want to do some smaller versions, you've got the small one as well, those of you who have the full one, okay? And then, like I said, my goal is the full one. It's currently 24 pages. I'm working towards getting that up to around 40-something pages before the year is over. Okay, great questions, by the way. If you have any more, feel free to check in with me, okay? And I'm going to customize this, number 1. And then number 2, I'm going to show you a few other templates that are inside of this Fresh Start monthly minis for you, okay? Any questions while I'm customizing, feel free to ask. I am here to support and point you in the right direction. So let me make sure I made this a copy. I did. So I'm going to call this the SistaSense Fresh, or let's do Position to Profit because that's one of my favorites. SistaSense Positions to Profit Mini Magazine. Okay? So let's do it. I'm going to go over to Elements, and I am going to look for, well, in the interest of time, I'm not going to look. I'm just going to grab, okay? already got some lovely images. I'm just going to grab as opposed to look. Okay, as you can see, I'm using her. But what if I want to use this version? So you see, I'm just going to drag and drop it. Drag and drop it. It will automatically format it to where the back is invisible. If you use your own image, so let's go to uploads. Let's say I have an image of myself, Orlando. Going to my Orlando photo shoot because that's the easiest thing for me to do. Okay. Let's say I want to use this photo. Drag and drop it. It's going to automatically remove the background. Now, removing the background is a Canva Pro feature. However, last time I checked, you have a few times to use this feature in the free version if you don't have Pro, just so that you know, okay? So I'm going to undo that real quick, number one. And like I said, I can switch out the photos here, number two. Number three, let's go and switch out all instances of this purple to, that blue to purple. I'm going to go to position, which shows me my layers. I'm going to look for this blue circle right here and change that to maybe this color. Okay. And then I'm going to change all instances that have the blue text to purple text. Okay. So you can see that in a matter of minutes, I'm already customizing certain pages to look the way I want them to. Okay. Here, for example, if I wanted to change out this, maybe I want to use this photo. Okay. And I'm only just doing a few minor things. I don't want something here that's going to cut somebody's face off. So I'm only just doing a few minor things here as far as adjustments are concerned. This back cover is actually a gradient, which means if you really look at it, you'll see it's a little lighter in the middle and darker on the edges, right? If I click the circle, I can see that it's gradient. It's got two colors in here and not just one. So let me show you how I would work that. Let's go here real quick. Let's grab this one. I want to get this color. And I'm going to come back down to my back here. And I want to change, using the color wheel, I want to change the darker color, I want to change the lighter color to this purple. And then maybe make it lighter. And then change this one to a dark purple. So some of the pages do have some cool gradient images that you can use. This is just a filler, but if you wanted to change it and put your own stock photo in, you could. Okay? As I mentioned before, like these pages, like the letter from the editor and the one-page articles are roughly, I want to say, on the small side, somewhere between 150 to 250 words. Okay, so it's not a lot here. And then you've got your full pages, which are the two-page ones, and then you'd have to double that. Okay? So I want to check the chat first to see if you all have any questions for me so far. And if you do want me to have like a longer content creation day going through some of these templates in more details, I can do that too. Okay, we're not going to do that today because we're literally going to wrap up in a few minutes, but I just kind of wanted to show you some getting started customizations here. Okay, a big question for many is going to be, if I just do Fresh Start Light, LaShonda, what are my templates, right? So for Fresh Start Light, we have 3 projects. The mini mag, which is the 8-pager, number 1. Then we have the monthly message. You get the easy audio offer template. So you can create audios, record them, and put them into this, make it a PDF, and then share those audio offers with your audience, okay? So you get to do a monthly audio message project, a monthly mini mag project, or monthly media. So let's take a look at the monthly media project. And some of you may go, LaShonda, I'm not quite clear on what monthly media is. Monthly media is you sending a PDF to your audience that includes stuff they can download, stuff that they can print. It's like easy access. So you could be somebody who every month you share patterns with your people, contracts, swipe files, templates. Every month you share, click to watch this audio, click to this video. So it's basically a PDF, okay? And you can design your deliverable downloads in your PDF however you want. There are 3 versions of this. There's a mini version, which you get as part of Fresh Start Lite. And then if you're in the full Fresh Start program, you get 2 big versions. The big versions are slightly different, and each of the big ones have 48 pages in them, okay? So there's a lot of different styles for you to choose from if you want to customize basically the deliverable that you give to your people. So I call this kind of like my wild card, in that some of you maybe are like myself and you have a lot of stuff that you can create or repurpose, and you wanted to be able to give it to people in easy PDFs that they can get on subscription every month. So you customize your PDF, you brand it, you give them the links to what they need within it, you're done, right? I shared an example of that the last time. Let me see if I could grab that real quick. If I do Audiopreneur, so let's go to the Audiopreneur document. This is an example of a monthly media where, okay, I'm going to teach you audio. Click here, get this training. Click here, get that training. Click here, download this ebook. Click here, get this bonus. Whatever you want to give them, that's links. You're going to put it in the media file, save that file as a PDF, and then send it to them every month via email. Could be different things every month via email, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. But again, if you do have any questions for me, feel free to let me know. Those of you, again, who have Fresh Start Lite, you're going to get 3 projects, 3 templates, mini mag, monthly messages, and monthly media. And those of you who have Fresh Start Full and up, because you can upgrade, they're different levels, you get access to 21 templates, 3 for every project, and there are 7 projects. Okay, 17 types of minis, but for this 7-day challenge, we're focused on 7 of the 17 projects. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't see that email for the Citizen Circle, just follow up with me via email. It probably went to spam or something. I don't know. But also, every month in the Citizen Circle, you'll see an archive of what we've done. This month just started, so you're probably going to see last month's archive. But within the next few days, I should have this month's archive up as well. So whether you log into the Digital Boss Academy and go to Citizen Circle, or you check the latest emails you got from me, you'll see those links. But of course, if you don't see it, just email me, and I will send you what you need to succeed, Sister Sense style. All right, y'all. So last thing, as far as the other templates, if you are curious, there are quite a few neat templates to share with you. The Easy Audio Course is one. The Easy Audio Message, number 2. So what I like to do is to create web pages. I call these check-in pages, where people can go, they can listen to audio and or click several links. So I've created this where you could record an audio. You can either import the audio in here and they can play it from in here, or you could link to your audio like Dropbox or something like that. That's what I tend to do. I tend to like record the audio, upload it to Dropbox, and then they can click anywhere here. Click the image, click the text, click the icon, and then go and listen to the audio. okay? I don't want to upload a ton of stuff to my Canva account, so I don't, but you could upload audios to Canva and have it play when they come here if you wanted to, okay? This is, by the way, a web page. So if I go to Publish Website, if you have never set up a website in Canva, you can pick your domain. Either you can buy one or you can use the free Canva one and customize it. I already bought one, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to do CHP demo. So that just means check-in page demo. So let's copy that real quick. Let's go back over to Google Chrome so I can show you what that looks like. So these are check-in pages. I build these on my website all the time. So my website is WordPress. So you'll notice here on this page there's a video, there's text, there's buttons, and then there's an audio message that you could listen to, right? And this page is sistasense.com/success. If you wanted to listen to or see my WordPress version of this, which is the Canva version, okay? This is the Canva version of this page. And I forget what I told you guys. sistasense.site/CHP demo for check-in page demo. Okay, so either I could upload the audio and automatically it would play when I drag it in here, or I could make this a link. They click the link and then they go listen to the audio somewhere else, maybe like Dropbox or something. If I wanted to, I could put a video in here too, because you'll notice on this page I embed videos, but I also like to do audio. Not to confuse, I built this in WordPress. The template I'm giving y'all as part of the program is built in Canva, okay? So what you can do in Canva is a little bit different from what you can do in WordPress or Squarespace or Shopify. Those are other platforms. So that's just a quick overview to get you up to speed, because yesterday we talked about monthly messages, and today we're talking about mini mags. Any questions, comments, ideas? I would love to know what you're thinking of. As I mentioned before, my goal with today's session is to, as we go through this week, encourage you to work on your monthly mini offers. So as part of this experience, your goal is to work on the plan to profit process, right? And we talked about that in the beginning. You can either just take this week to hear me out, see all the ideas, and figure out which of those resonates with you, number one. Or number two, literally take this week and work on one digital offer. What's great about Fresh Start is I like to go week by week, but give you a 90-day experience. So the 7-day challenges, it's 7 days, right? And that's one thing, but the whole thing is the 90-day experience, and hopefully you guys will hang out with me as part of Fresh Start if you're not already inside of my Sister Sense monthly mastermind and accountability community. So when it comes to going from the planning to working on your profit potential, we start with your T's. What type of offer do you want to produce? For what target audience? Your titles, your themes, your topics, what template or templates do you want to use, right? I always say if you can't ask me, ask ChatGPT. Literally, you can use ChatGPT in these projects to work on your content, your outlines, ideas, and inspiration. And we will do a little bit of ChatGPT time permitting for those things that I feel like it might be a good extra add-on, right? I didn't want to spend too much time today going through the whole mini-mag setup, but for something like a magazine, if you're not writing original content or you need inspiration, you can go to ChatGPT to help you create that foundation, right? Content crawl. How many of you have a ton of content that you can repurpose? Say me. Go to your previous content and see what you can repurpose and or integrate into some of these amazing templates that I've given to you, right? I see me, yay. Google Doc, right? as part of this challenge, I always say go over to docs.google.com, create a Google document, and brain dump everything that we talk about for the next 7 days so you've got essential space to store your ideas, right? Working on the actual product. Are you going to write articles? Are you going to record audios, videos, set up pages, PDFs? It really depends upon which of these monthly minis resonates the most with you. And then, of course, when it comes to the actual content creation, my main platforms are ConvertKit and Canva to help you make your PDFs and your pages. I sell a lot of stuff or teach y'all how to sell a lot of stuff through putting together pages, sales pages, product pages inside of ConvertKit. But, of course, you can use whatever product or platform is the easiest for you, okay? And then last but not least, to share. Many of you who are going to be working on this project with me either for the next 7 days or over the course of the next 12 weeks, this is your time to check in, right? So you can share your content with me. I love that in Canva there's a share button. You could always click the share button and put sistersense@gmail.com. Little note, hey, LaShonda, I'm working on XYZ template. What do you think, right? You can share your creations in our group over at firestarters.sistersense.com. Hey, I'm working on this Setup for Sales challenge. I'm in the Fresh Start program. This is my product. You can share it within the group. And then, of course, submit it to be showcased in the marketplace. The marketplace is me showcasing the amazing products, digital offers that you all have produced as a result of working with my templates and or through the different digital trainings that I've put together for you. So I want you to be able to share for input, share for exposure, and having the opportunity to not just have me, but the community see what you're working with, right? So that is a quick reminder of how you're going to work through this process of planning to work on your profit potential as part of the Setup for Sales experience. So thank you so much for joining our session for today. Those of you in the Sister Sense Circle, you'll see our updated calendar out real soon. I always like to drop that at the start of the month. And those of you who are inside of Setup for Sales and or Fresh Start should be able to see what is on the Fresh Start 7-day challenge and or 90-day experience agenda. Anything else? Checking in on the replay side, email me, message me, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. Till next time, take care. Mwah. Bye.